Okay, in this project, circle circumference, the first thing you have to check is make sure the units of this x-axis is not 0 to, 1, 2, 3 or something like that. It's better to pi, 2 pi, right? So right click on the x-axis, and for the x-axis, the distance is pi, right? Then as you can see here, it's just marked each pi like that, okay? And for y-axis, it's better to show each integer 1, 2, 3, 4, not jumping like the even numbers only. So select y, and distance is just 1, or you can type any number you want for your unit value, but it's 1. Okay, so now you see all these values. Okay, so that's the first thing you have to do. And the next one is, let me change that. The center point is you should check very carefully about it. It's dependent points of the slider value, right? So we need slider, but at the same time, that point is only moved to the positive x values only, right? You cannot move the point to the left side of the y-axis. So you can imagine there is actually hidden ray over there starting from y-axis, and this ray is actually up and down by the slider value. And the point of actually the center of the circle is a point on that way. You see that? That's how we can arrange setting the property of this point. Okay. So first of all, we need a slider, and let's say it's for radius r. And when you check in the course Blackboard, it's starting from 0.1, go up to 5. Okay, and I think it's good for the half of the possible positive y values, because it's a center. The r is the radius of the circle. So if it's 5, then our circle must look like up to 10, right? 0 to 10. So it must be 5. So it's depending on that, but please arrange like that. And increment is also 0.1, and slider is better to as a vertical line. Okay, so like that. And let me move that one over here. Okay, good. But when you move up, it's 5, but actually the position of our point will be around here. So it's not really matching. So if you really want to matching that one, then let's go to the slider, and the width should be smaller than that length. It's 200 pixels. So how about 150? And just check with 5. Still, it's a little bit larger than that. So how about 140? Then I think it's about 5, right? So then this value, like 1, is looks like similar to 1, like that, right? So okay, for the homework, you don't need to check that much, but I mean, you are planning to make your own teaching work in the future, right? So to help your students, it's better to matching those sides, right? Okay, the next one is we need a way to place that center of the circle in the future. So the ray must starting from a point on this y-axis, and that point must be depending on the slider value, right? So if slider value is 5, then the point must be over there, right? The initial point of the ray. Okay? So we need a point. You don't need to give any name. And the x coordinates must be 0 because it's on y-axis, and y value is just same as radius. Can you see that? You can see that point here. So hit enter, make it movable one, right? Like that. Be careful, we are not going to use this one. This is only to make the ray, right? And to define a ray, we need another point over there. It's just any point is okay, right? On that same horizontal line. So let me just choose 1 comma r. Okay, so when you move this one and hit enter, then now you're moving up, they're moved together like that. Then make array like that. Okay, Then after that, we place a point on this ray. So it's kind of free point, but depending on the value of this radius. So after that, yes, we don't want to show that. Okay? Let's hide all of this. Then it looks like we have a kind of free points, but it's just bounded by this y-axis, right? It's only moving over there, okay? And it's up and down like this. Okay, so that part is kind of easy, but after that, we need to make a circle. So let me make it a little bit small size ones. We need to make a circle, and it looks like a rotating when you slide this point, okay, along this line. So first of all, we need a circle. So we need a point. There are several different ways to make that circle, but altogether, eventually, it's better to have this foot of this point on x-axis, right, as a kind of shadow of it. So using that one, we can make many objects over there. So to get it, no matter where this point is, and remember the point name is C in this case, then this one sharing same x coordinates and y coordinates must be 0, right? So we need to make another point which is x coordinates of C and 0. Okay, hit enter. So whenever we move that center, this point is always show the shadow of it. Okay, okay, good. Then using this, we can make a circle nicely. Now, key point here is when you look at the apps in the course Blackboard, there is kind of beams, right, for showing the movements of this circle. So when you move, we want to show there is some kind of moving point on the circle, and looks like it's rotating around it. Okay? So when the center is on the y-axis, that point must be over there, right? Same as this one, but it must be movable. So let's say if you move this point up to pi, right? Then from that position point must rotate exactly pi much, right? Okay, around it, because it's going pi, it's pi. Okay? So how can you make that one? Remember there is a button rotate around the point. Okay? So click this one. Please check the order. I think check the movable points and the center. Then it's asking, okay, how much you want to rotate it. Now it's not fixed number. It's depending on how much you move, right? So this x coordinates of point C is the measurement of how much you want to rotate it. So that is actually the x coordinates of C. Okay. Let me just click here. So can you see that? Right? So it's rotating, right? Now the problem is like that. Looks like it's rotating counterclockwise, but we want it move clockwise, right? So when you set this point, rotate, okay, it doesn't have that one. So let me just delete this one and make another one. So when you do that, it's x coordinates of C and it's clockwise. So in that case, when you at the y-axis, same thing, and when you're moving up, it's rotating. So when you move up to 2 pi, it's going 2 pi. Now, something is strange, right? Look at here. If the radius is 1, then this movement is reasonable, right? Because the circumference of circle with the radius 1 is 2 pi, right? Like that. But if the radius is going to 2, then the circumference, when you make a full circle, should be 2 times 2 pi, right? Okay. 2 pi r, right? So So it must just only rotate kind of once, right? Not twice like this, okay? So we need to change the value of this one. Okay, so from the beginning, we need to kind of, let's make another one over there. So let's make another one, like click this one and that. And the previous setting was x coordinates of c only. So whenever we rotate just 2 pi, it should make the entire full circle. Now, if the radius is 2, then when this center goes to 2 pi, it must only rotate half circle, right? So meaning is we have to divide that value by the radius, whatever it is, and of course it must be clockwise. So click OK, and let's rotate. Okay, you see that when you go to 2 pi, this point only makes half circle because the radius is 2. So when you go to 4 pi, finally makes a full circle. Okay, so let me have a line segment between these two. Then, can you see that? It looks like it's showing the movements of it. Okay, okay, then you need to make 2 more points. Same thing, but only it should start from excuse me, 120 degrees more or 240 degrees more, right? But same thing, right? So you can arrange that way. Another thing is when you rotate it, it looks like we are peeling off this circumference to visualize what's going on, right? So for that one, you need sorry, the circular arc, right? Okay, so that's all you need. So how about like this, and let me change the arc. Circular arc is D, so let me change that on color to blue. Can you see that? Okay. And maybe make it thicker a little bit. So in that way, when you rotate it, you see this? This blue portion is getting smaller, right? Okay. Or full circle. Okay, that's how you can. And of course, because careful when you make it, it disappears because you don't have any 2 points on the circle anymore, right? So you have to make another circle when you start it. Okay? Like that, right? So that new circle must be blue and thicker, same thickness, same color like that. But right after you rotate it, that original one is disappeared, and oh, it's still there. So that original one must be only showing, okay, this new one, this new blue ones, only showing when the x coordinates of C equals 0 case, right? Only that case. So if it's not, it's disappear. So when you go there, this blue circle is that circle E, right? But right after move something that is not showing anymore, you only see that arc here. And when you go off, then it start showing again, right? Because this arc is only depending on by the choice of these 2 points with the center. Okay, so we don't want to show that arc anymore after you passing through certain value, right? And that is actually this r times 2 pi, right? So for this arc, that should be this d, right? This circular arc is only showing when the x coordinates of C is between 0 and less than 2 pi times r, right? So radius times 2 times and pi, right? Okay, so let's move there. It doesn't show that circle anymore, circle or arc, whatever. So it looks like we take care of that one. Then the only remaining one is we want to show that kind of skinned off portion here, right? So that's why we need a point there, which is the 0, 0, right? And we need to assign the line segment between that point and this one. So can you see that? This line segment is extended when we move that points off from there, right? Okay, so like that. So it's better to change the color of that one to blue, right? I'm giving you too much information right now, but and we don't want to see that point. We want to hide it. Okay? So by doing that, okay, looks like this, and even we don't want to show this point that much, right? So that's then we only have looks like this way, right? So it looks like the circumference of the circle is actually peeling off. Okay? That, and of course maybe we don't need to emphasize that point that much, so maybe you can hide it. Okay? And it's really like a peeling off like that. Now the problem is after that it just keep doing it, right? So we don't want to see this line segment, okay, after finishing that. So the advanced, we only showed that line segment is x coordinates of c is less than 2 pi, right, times r, right? Okay, so it's not showing up, but it's showing again. But problem is we want to see that, okay, the peeling off part here, okay, even when the circle is rolling off from there. So we need make another line segment, okay, starting from that point, right? So you don't, please don't hide that one, okay, over there, but technically we need a segment from 0 to 0, 0, 0 to that point, which is x coordinates of that. No, it's depending on what this radius is, right? So 2 pi, once again, times r. That's for the x coordinates, and y coordinates should be 0, right? So that's the segment, right? From 0, 0 to whatever that point is. This is actually the length of the circumference, right? So 2 pi r. That's what we need. And of course, change the color to, right, to blue, whatever. Then it looks like it's just left over that peeling off part, okay? So like this. Now, once again, we only see this, we only want to see this when this circle makes after full rotation, right? So you need to change the condition for that, right? Only for x coordinates of c is less than 2 pi. Right, careful, you need to put r, okay, out there. So can you see that? Like this. So it's not, it's after that. Sorry, I think I said the wrong way. So let me open that again. So not less than, it's greater than, right? So it's greater than equal to 2 pi r. Okay, I picked the wrong segment over there, but you got all the information, right? So you need actually two line segments here, which is movable one, and that only shows when your x coordinate of c is between 0 and 2 pi r, right? But another segment is always just between 0 and 2 pi r, but it's only showing when this one is off from there, okay? So anyway, I think I give all the necessary information here, actually too much, okay? But I think that should be enough.